Hello guys and welcome back! Today we will be drawing the line art for my character here, Raymond. Alright, so to explain how this usually works here, especially if you're trying to draw your own character while following along here, for this I didn't really have a plan, to be honest. I went ahead and started drawing my piece with just a thought in the mind, kind of a general idea of what I wanted. So, because of that, my line art is a little sloppy, but of course I do fix that a little later on. So, Raymond here is actually kind of a werewolf creature. So, to put it simply, I wanted to have him in kind of a 3/4 position, kind of facing towards the camera, but also looking on guard, not off guard, on guard. Alright, so like I said, some general sketching here. You don't have to worry too much about how everything is positioned as long as you have the general shapes right. For this circle here, for example, I do want to do a little background, and it would definitely be nice to have an outline for that. Now usually, we will dull our line art, but not yet. Of course, we need to do the features of the character's face. And when you are doing those, I would recommend using a darker pen, or if not that, using a different color to go ahead and remind yourself exactly where the features will be on your character. It usually helps me, at least. So, there's my advice for you, and now we're going to go ahead and do the final line art pieces here. Now when I do mine, I do a different color than the line art underneath, so there is no confusion as to what is the new line art or the old line art. Now, for the hat, by the way, it's really hard to make it look like it's on the head. Usually people do it too small, too big, but you need it just right. And you don't want to make it look like it's floating on top of your head either. You want to make it look like your hat is very solid and grounded on your character's head. Alright, now from here I'm kind of just fixing a few things, and it looks good now. The hat is perfect. So, continuing here, I did do the hair a little bit thinner. And I am doing that all across my character's head, of course. I will make a strand a little bit bigger later on in our next tutorial, just because there's not really a spot to cover where his ears should be, the human ears at least. Alright, now from here we will do the eyes, and I chose to do mine a little less human. They're more wolf-like, since Raymond is a werewolf type of character. Eyes are very important. You do not want these big old anime eyes on your character, oh so cute, when you want them to be looking menacing. Same thing with the mouth. I mean, you don't want some goofy mouth with some really intense eyes. It's not really gonna match up very well. So, making sure your character, everything about it, has one solid feel, definitely helps convey your point a little easier. As you can see here, Raymond has kind of a stealing glare, as well as a, downturned mouth. It looks very serious for good reason. And his clothing is going to match that similar style. So, from here, we're going to go ahead and continue. Remember also that with your, some parts of your character, you might need to change later on. For example, that necklace there. Or even having a bow tie if you want. These different features help make your character a little more interesting, and also it helps you plan out your piece a little more, especially getting the proportions right. Alright, let's see what we're going to do next here. We are going to do the circle for the background. Now, I actually don't know how to rotate the canvas and draw a picture at the same time, so if any of you guys have an idea or a tip to make a circle better, oh man, I would appreciate that. I've tried to learn from other YouTubers, but man, I have not gotten far. Well, anyways, here, we're gonna go ahead and, of course, put the circle around Raymond. Now, you of course want to make sure your line art is solid, in the sense that there aren't any open spots, and all of your lines are connecting. Just like with the circle with the rest of the piece. Alright. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Most of the line art process is just fixing things up. Little flaws, little problems. Making things look uniform. Also, planning is very important. as well as fixing up your little mistakes when it comes to pressure. I tend to use the pressure tool quite often, even though I do have a pad. So, since we already know what's going to happen here, we're going to go ahead and speed things up. Alright, here we go! All done! See, Raymond originally had a scarf, and I changed that to more of a vest with a little floofy chest piece. Instead, I feel like that helps his character a little more. Now the step that we're completing here is pretty simple. Just finishing a few more things, as well as thinning and thickening the line art. Personally, one reason why I do this is because it adds a little more personality to your piece. It's a kind of a fun characteristic to add. And it helps add variety instead of just the same lines over and over again. And that may be my personal opinion, but that's how I feel about it. Alright. Now from here, it's just a little more touching up, fixing up my piece a bit. And from here, we are getting pretty close to being done. I do want to thicken the hair, of course, because like I said, the thickening and thinning is very important. And from there, we're just going to go ahead and darken our line art so it is solid and complete. Alright. From there, my friends, until next time, we're going to go ahead and make this beautiful boy next. It'll take a few more steps, but until then, our second step will be coloring. So keep an eye out for that.